Hi everyone, can you hear me, Thomas?
Now we can hear you.
Great, fantastic. A world champion, how does that sound?
Not bad, not bad.
Many congratulations on that.
Thanks.
I want to talk about Cesar Azpilicueta, a fantastic captain. He's won it all. Going forward, how important is he for your plans?
He's always important, and the plans are most of the time not longer than 10 days or 14 days max, so in football. And for me as a manager, but he is super important. He was super important since day one. We had a good connection from the first day, which is always important, and you always wish for as a coach. And you know, he gets better with every game he plays. He is an example, a leader by doing and leading by example, which is always super nice to have. And now he collects so many trophies, has such an incredible career in one club, which is outstanding. And he embodies everything what Chelsea stands for: being relentless, being humble, but being a warrior at the same time. And I don't think that there exist people who do not wish for the very best for him and do not like that he has all these trophies. He deserves it. If you see what he did, like how he protected also Kai before the penalty was brilliant, and this is what he does, and this is what he does on a daily basis. He protects the team, and he's the first one to step up. So happy to have him.
I want to talk about Kepa as well, Thomas. You know, you didn't know where he was going in terms of his career, obviously getting dropped before you came here.
Yeah.
But you must be really proud of his comeback with Edward Mendy away. He seems more than a number two now. Do you know what I mean? You've got a good problem now, maybe.
Yeah, a problem in terms of performance, because Kepa is so good in training and in the games. Meanwhile, that he could be the number one. Yes, he is not, because we have Mendy and Edu is our number one. There's no need to change, but it's full credit to Kepa. He's like you said, he's an outstanding character and fantastic team player, and did not experience many players who have the capacity to cope with the situation like he did. In the end, he comes out stronger of the situation than ever, which is very nice to see, because I can only say thank you on an almost daily basis of how much he gives into the team and how much he is he gives as a team player. It was an incredible hard decision, because he was a huge part in the semi-final of the World Cup to bring us to the final with 2-3 big saves. And still, we would have done the same thing if it was the other way around. We accept it as normal, or like we take it more or less as normal, but it's not normal how he behaves and how he pushes the team even in moments like this. And he deserves the very best, and he's a big part of our group.
What's the latest on Mason Mount? It sounded about doubts about the League Cup final. What can you tell us?
Yeah, we will push for the League Cup final. We will push, and he has injured ligaments in the very first minutes of the final, unfortunately. So Champions League seems to be very close, and we try hard for the League Cup final.
You tell us, have you spoken to Callum Hudson-Odoi? There are reports that he's considering changing his national team. Is there an update on that?
To Germany.
Into Ghana. Was that something you'd advise him to do, or was it something you'd say, look, it's totally...
No, absolutely not. Hear it for the first time, and was not involved in it, and maybe will not be involved in it.
Okay. Thanks, Thomas.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Next up, we'll have Ian Abrahams, Talk Sport.
Hi, Thomas. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Congratulations on becoming champions of the world. It's amazing. Talking of which, Kai Havertz, once again, like in the Champions League final, got the winning goal for you. Would you like to see a little bit more consistency from him, and do you expect that to come this season, or should we wait for next season?
Should not wait too long. If we isolate maybe the goal scoring, yeah, we can say we expect more. He expects more for sure, but in consistency in terms of what he's giving to the team, I think he stepped up already, and he is pretty consistent. We can see a lot of intensity in his game, a lot of physicality. He has already stepped up from this season in training, and when he plays, he is tougher to play. He is more physical. He is more involved. He relies more on his strength, which is his body, which are runs without the ball. He is he's more relying on this. He's more focusing on this, which is a good thing. So I think he is actually in the process of being more reliable, and being more consistent. Of course, he's an offensive player, and of course he has the ability to score, and of course we want more goals. He wants more goals. So in this part of the game, he can improve. He can be more clinical, he can be more precise, he can use his technique a bit better in shooting technique-wise. So there are aspects of the game where is still space to develop, because he's also still young. But he now stepped up twice in big matches in crucial moments, which can only be good for his development.
16 points behind City. I'm wondering where your Premier League ambitions now are this season, or are you going to concentrate on trying to fill your bag of silverware with the League Cup, the FA Cup, and remaining champions of Europe to add to your World Championship?
Well, we will not say no, but listen, it's quite hard. Everything is quite hard, and that's the challenge, and that's what we love. Yeah, 16 points sounds too much. Is too much to what where we want to be and what we demand of ourselves. But it's the reality. And first of all, we have to reach your targets. I think a realistic approach is also necessary. So we should not get confused in thinking about winning the Premier League. And still we have to realize that we are in a race for top 4 right now, which is a huge thing in Premier League in general. In the end of the season, you have to. In the end of the season, you can look back and think about the reason why it is like this, and try to do stuff better. You can do, of course, as a staff within the season, try to improve. This is what we do, but right now the focus has to be on a realistic approach, that we are in a race for top 4, and we have to make sure that maybe in the moment things are not so super easy for us, and that we also like the matches and don't get frustrated in matches that are tough, maybe against on the first few smaller teams. And that things are not so easy for us at the moment. Once we do this, I think we are a competitive team, still are, and go step by step in any competition. We will not start judging competitions now. The most important game we have is tomorrow at Crystal Palace. And after that, we go again switching competitions, which is a good sign, because it tells us that we are in many competitions, and we should not lose faith now, and not get frustrated or less passionate about what we do. Let's keep on going and push ourselves to the limit.
Last quick one. You mentioned goals before regarding Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
And I'm not asking you to be critical here or looking for some sort of great headline, but are you a little bit disappointed, maybe the wrong word? Are you a little bit concerned about Romelu Lukaku maybe not having the weight of goals this season that we all thought he would get back in August? We all thought you might win the title off the back of signing him with the number of goals he bring in.
Yeah, and I still believe that he will, because he always did. So we need a bit of more patience than we maybe all have or wanted to have with this signing, of course. We demand a lot from our strikers, also in terms of intensity. So there are several reasons why things are maybe like this, and we're on it. You know, there are teams who heavily rely on one goal scorer out there. It's no secret, and there are like also teams like Manchester City who don't heavily rely on one person, but have it on more shoulders, and it also works, and they score a lot of goals. So both things work. We want to bring Romelu in better situations. We want to create more situations. We want to understand him better. The teammates want to understand him better. So it is an ongoing process. In the end, we still have trust because he proved in any club where he was that he is the guy who has the last touch in the end of attacks. So he had now like a very important goal for us again in the final. It's it's like you say, disappointed is not the right word, but of course we thought we for him, especially also for him, and I'm pretty sure him as well, he wanted to produce the numbers right from the start. But listen, so we are all humans, and we keep on going, and we demand a lot defensively from our strikers as well.
Alistair McGowan, BBC.
Hey Thomas, I just wondered if you could maybe give us an update on Reece James's fitness.
Yeah, I can. It's of course it's too long for all of us. For Reece, for us, we miss him a lot, and I had the feeling right from the very start that we have to deal with a big injury. Unfortunately, my feeling is right. We had a little bit of a setback because he caught a flu in the moment where he was very close to rejoin team training. So this was a kind of a setback. And like always, you always have the risk with a very physical player like Reece is, in the big muscle injury, that you have to consider that sometimes there's a delay in the comeback, which we are right now. So he's still in individual training, progressing a lot, doing almost everything what you can do in individual training. And we're waiting for him. The plan is that he rejoins the group next week.
When do you think he'll be back ready for selection then?
Well, it's a long time now. Now we're speaking about like how much? 7 weeks, 8 weeks. I know that everybody in the physical department doing an excellent job. So once he is in the team training, we can rely that he did a lot, and that he is ready to be like under a certain amount of pressure and of freedom of movement and acceleration. Otherwise, they will not give him free for team training. I actually don't know. I don't know. Every time I would say now would be wrong and would just be a guessing now. So I hope he can come back to team training next week. This is the next step, and then I can maybe give you more insight.
Okay. Just staying with medical matters, I'm not sure if you saw it this week, but I think France has changed its policy on unvaccinated players last Saturday, I think it was.
Yeah.
And this came to attention because of Novak Djokovic.
Yeah.
And I just wondered whether you'd heard any more on that
No.
Unvaccinated players could travel, and what you thought of that.
They can travel now.
Yeah, they can travel as long as they take a test and obviously not positive.
Okay, so which is good news because we have some players that are concerned, and we will take absolute care, like we always do, that they are like, if they travel, if we make them travel, that they are like negative, of course, and tested regularly and precisely. So good news for us, and it's important.
Okay, thank you. That's the last question by Charlie, PLP.
Hi Thomas, lovely to speak with you again today. Just want to go back to the theme of your forward players, because in recent weeks we've seen Romelu Lukaku playing regularly, him linking up really well with Hakim Ziyech as well, and Kai Havertz in the last 2 games playing. Do you feel that you're moving towards maybe having a settled front line, and is that something that you do want to have at Chelsea?
everybody is maybe looking for that and for how did you call it, settled line up at the front, yeah, because I mean we have so many players and they have so many qualities that sometimes it's hard to pick and sometimes it's hard to judge who's in the best shape or who can help the most, and sometimes you interrupt a good run by good meaning, but then in the end you have doubts if you interrupted maybe somebody's run or like good form. And it is, like you're very right, it is about connections, and we're still looking for the connections. We switched systems lately between like a back 5 and a back 4. So I think if we play in a back 4 and play a 4-1-4-1, and we have the wide right winger position, this is a position that Hakim suits very best. This position was not available from the start in the final, for example. So we took the tactical decision to play with a back 3. And this did not leave us with the same position for Hakim, so he was out and came from the bench. Sometimes it's like this, and on the other side you're very right, we are looking for connections between players who can link up good, who can link up genuinely and without too much effort, who have a good understanding, a similar understanding of the movements. And this is what we are looking for, of course. And while you are looking and while you are trying your best, players get injured and you start from all over, you start from scratch. So this is daily business and daily life.
Just one final question, just to end off. I know Ruben Loftus-Cheek returned to training this week. What's his fitness looking like? And can you confirm the injury that he did actually have?
Well, he had problems at his Achilles. The pain was very painful and a kind of inflammation. So not a big injury, but painful, which held him back from being on the pitch. Since he is back, since we are back from Abu Dhabi, and since he is back, he's very strong. I can see that he feels free because he had an excellent training week and is available for the game tomorrow.
Was that linked to his previous Achilles injury?
No, it was
Or
the
was that a
other.
separate issue?
No, it was a separate issue.
Okay. Thanks,
Right, thank you very much, Thomas.
Okay, that's the end of the broadcast.